The taxi pulls up to 421 Maple Street at 17:30 on a Tuesday. 8 months dodging IEDs in Afghanistan. All I craved was my own bed. Maybe grilling a burger on the patio my grandfather laid. Definitely calling Sarah to plan our reunion home. What hits me instead is the smell of charred meat. Kids shrieking, patio lights tangled in the old oak. Lights I sure as hell didn't leave. My first, stupidly hopeful thought, Sarah threw a surprise party. My second, as I clock the unfamiliar SUV and plastic dinosaurs littering my lawn, colossal mistake. I pay the cabbie, shoulder my duffel, follow the noise around back. There they are. Dad in cargo shorts flipping burgers on my Weber. Mom setting potato salad on Grandpa's hand-built table. 2 kids taking turns on the tire swing he'd hung for me 40 years ago. Living in my space like they owned it. Their teen daughters even filming a TikTok against my rusting swing set backdrop. "Excuse me," I say, voice tight but controlled. The dad freezes, spatula midair, eyes locking onto my uniform in confusion. "I think there's been a mistake. This is my house." Mom squares up instantly, arms crossed. "I'm sorry, but we live here now. We have a legal rental agreement through the HOA. We've been here 3 months. She vanishes inside, returns with a thick folder shoving it at me. Everything's completely legal. My gut twists. Inside, a slick rental contract. 2-year lease, $2,500 a month, 6 months paid up front. My address, my property description. Signed by Amber Caldwell, President, Meadowbrook Heights HOA. Can't sit empty. The HOA must maintain values and standards. She flourishes papers. You received violation notices for lawn length, mail overflow, security risks. No response. We exercised our covenant right to assume temporary management. I scan the absurd notices. Grass too long. While I was in a war zone. Too much mail. While defending the country. An empty house. A security risk. Ma'am, I was deployed. I arranged mail forwarding and lawn service. She waves a dismissive hand. That's between you and your company. We acted on what we saw. An abandoned property dragging down values. It's all perfectly legal. The family looks increasingly uncomfortable. The 911 call is useless. Civil matter, the officer declares, scanning Amber's paperwork. Get a lawyer. Process takes years. Amber's smile widens. Exactly, Captain. Proper channels. 2-3 years, typically. As she drives off, she rolls down her window. Don't worry, honey, the legal process only takes 2 to 3 years. She has no idea she's declared war on the wrong soldier. She knows judges. I know Colonel James Mitchell, hunkered in a Highway Hampton Inn, mission planning instincts kick in. Recon first. Amber Caldwell's social media screams suburban queen. Luxury trips, designer bags, real estate awards, endless selfies at galas. Elected HOA Prez a year ago on a standards and values platform. Digging deeper hints this isn't her first rodeo. Walking the neighborhood that evening to clear my head, Mrs. Edith Harper, 70-year retired teacher, intercepts me. Saw what happened, dear. So sorry. She did the same to Harold Peterson last year. My blood runs cold. Harold, 82, Korean War vet, moved to assisted living. Amber declared his house abandoned, rented it out. He tried fighting from the nursing home but was too frail. Sold cheap to escape legal fees. Died 3 months later. His son blamed the stress. A pattern. Targeting the vulnerable, deployed military, the elderly. She shut me down when I asked about HOA finances. Edith continues. Voted me off the board for disrupting harmony. She disappears, returning with a banker's box. Been keeping my own records. Someone had to. I call Colonel Mitchell. Sir, civilian legal issue. Housing. His concern is immediate. As I explain, his voice hardens. Marcus, that sounds like systematic targeting of deployed personnel. Not just wrong, potentially illegal, under federal law. Pack your bags. Reinforcements at 0800. Later, Edith knocks with another box. Records of Amber's activities for 18 months. She hands me a folder, voice grave. Show your colonel these tomorrow. What she did to you and Harold. She's planning it for 3 more families this summer. Cold realization settles. This is her business model. Euro 800 sharp, a black government sedan pulls up. Colonel James Mitchell steps out in full dress blues, ribbons gleaming, command presence radiating. Neighbors peek from windows. Edith watches from her porch, grimly satisfied. The colonel marches straight to the HOA office, knocks with authority. Ma'am, Colonel Mitchell, we need to discuss my airman's property. Amber looks up, confident. Confidential HOA matters? I'm Captain Sullivan's commanding officer, official capacity. He places Edith's folder on her desk like a tactical strike. These documents suggest a pattern of targeting military families during deployment. Explain your policy regarding federal service member protections. Amber pales slightly. Everything follows community covenants. We don't make exceptions based on employment. Property maintenance is the owner's responsibility. Harold Peterson, 82-year-old Korean War veteran, lost his home similarly. His son contacted our chaplain requesting an investigation into his father's death. Died in a nursing home after losing the house he lived in for 40 years. Son believes the stress killed him. Amber fidgets. Tragic, but HOA has standards. Procedures override personal situations. Correct. This is America, the colonel says, dangerously quiet. But it also protects those who serve it. Your actions suggest systematic violation of federal law. He pulls out his phone. Mitchell here. Need public affairs immediately. Story angle. Local HOA systematically targets deployed military families. Timeline, 30 minutes. Amber's eyes widen. You can't call the media on a private citizen. The moment you targeted military families, you made it national security and public interest. By the time the news van arrives, 43 neighbors have gathered. Edith stands front and center, evidence box ready. The reporter smells blood. Colonel Mitchell is devastatingly precise. Investigating reports this HOA systematically targeted military families, potentially violating federal housing protection laws. Amber tries to slink out the back but is live-streamed escaping. The crowd buzzes with shared outrage. The $500 wrong color mailbox fine. The intimidated military wife. Amber's kingdom is crumbling. Colonel Mitchell locks eyes with her. Ma'am, you have until 800 tomorrow to return my soldier's house keys, or I demonstrate what full military support actually looks like. Applause erupts. Edith gives me a victory-signed thumbs up. Amber looks like she swallowed a grenade. Amber spends the night frantically calling lawyers. The advice is unanimous. Apologize, make restitution, pray it doesn't go national. Pride and self-righteousness win. She doubles down. Edith organizes a neighborhood meeting. Instead of the usual 6 HOA sycophants, over 40 pack the community center, armed with their own horror stories. I have 18 months of financial records, Edith announces, pulling documents like a prosecutor. Rental payments going to personal accounts, over $50,000, meeting minutes discussing management opportunities, vulnerable homes. Others speak. The threatened military wife, the elderly couple fined for too many gnomes, the wrong shade black mailbox, the Christmas wreath 2 days late. The pattern is undeniable. Amber arrives for what she thinks is a routine board meeting to find a packed room. Cameras, Edith center stage. Private meeting. Non-board members out. Laughter. Retired cop Tom Richardson speaks. Actually, Amber, this is a community meeting about your removal. Colonel Mitchell enters, silent, formidable. The crowd parts respectfully. You can't remove me because you dislike my style. Amber sputters, desperate. I was elected, followed procedures. Edith smiles patiently. Actually, dear, we can remove you for cause. Plenty of cause. As Amber loses it, you people don't understand this office's authority. These properties need my management, she inadvertently confesses. The room erupts. A unanimous voice vote strips her presidency. Edith nominated interim president by acclamation. Security escorts a shrieking Amber out, threatening lawsuits. Footage goes viral. Justice for deployed heroes trends. The transformation is swift. Edith sworn in, first act. Returns my keys, voids Amber's contract. The rental family, understanding victims, is helped into temporary housing by neighbors. Walking into my mother's house is overwhelming. Her glasses on the counter, her mug. The family had stored our belongings respectfully. Colonel Mitchell helps hang photos. Edith arrives with warm cookies. The financial investigation, fueled by Edith's records, reveals massive fraud. $50K plus in diverted rent funding, Amber's luxuries while community amenities crumbled. Bank statements don't lie. Criminal charges fly. Fraud, breach of fiduciary duty, conspiracy. License suspended, assets frozen, husband flees. Her McMansion sports a for sale sign. The community heals. A victim fund helps families, including Mr. Peterson's son. New HOA bylaws ban targeting vulnerable residents, especially deployed military. An annual military appreciation BBQ is planned. In my backyard, media attention explodes. The Pentagon issues support. Celebrity vets amplify the story. My fight becomes a national symbol. Mom's garden blooms again, restored by neighbors. Edith the mastermind. Colonel Mitchell surprisingly handy. Local teens pitching in. The tire swing is repainted. Personal vindication feels less like triumph, more like profound gratitude for the community that rallied. Colonel Mitchell's family adopts me. Edith becomes the grandmother I'd lost. Protecting your community matters as much as protecting your country. Amber pleads guilty, facing the mountain of evidence. Sentence, full restitution, 18 months house arrest, plus community service. At the Veterans Center, Edith's poetic suggestion, lifetime HOA board ban. The day I get the official property restored papers, Edith bursts in with the newspaper. Local hero inspires state military protection law. Photo, me shaking the governor's hand at the signing. Testifying before the state legislature for the Military Family Protection Act is surreal. Our story, my testimony, Edith's evidence, Colonel Mitchell's statement, becomes law, shielding thousands of military families. Military Times runs a cover story. Speaking requests flood in. We build a national resource network for military families in HOA disputes. Amber's fall is total. Her sentencing, fire sale assets, pariah status. She serves her community service at the vet center. Edith believes even broken people could be fixed with consequences. 1 year later, I plan my wedding in the same backyard. Sarah, my rock through it all, says yes in Mom's restored garden. Colonel Mitchell officiates. Edith commands logistics. Guests include neighbors, military brothers, psych sisters, vet advocates, the rental family as honored guests, the teens who'd gardened. The Patterson Foundation Scholarship, honoring Harold Peterson, managed fiercely by Edith, funds college for military kids. It thrives on nationwide donations. As Sarah and I steal a moment on our porch swing, neighbor gift, watching guests leave, a text comes. A young airman in Germany, similar HOA fight, found our story online. Needs help. I smile, reach for my phone. Another family to protect. Looking at Amber's old house across the street, now home to a young military family, toys in the yard, American flag flying. I understand. The worst thing became the best. Amber tried to steal a soldier's house. Instead, she forged the strongest military community in the state, inspired national protections, and reminded us all what happens when good people stand together. I got more than my house back. I got proof that home is sacred, defended by communities who fight for you when you're fighting for them. If you know a military family in a similar fight, be their Edith, be their neighbor, be their Colonel Mitchell. Sometimes one person standing up rallies an army. Home isn't just where you live, it's where people fight for you when you can't.